Good evening, mortals. My name is Jay, and welcome to my studio. Are you a history fan? A love fan? A guillotine fan? Well, you'll enjoy today's video on Loving Guillotines, a dating simulator set in a high school AU of the French Revolution, featuring everyone's favourite historical figures. This game is as ridiculous as it sounds, but a lot of fun. It's free on Steam, so check it out if you can, and if you can't or don't want to, then enjoy the video. Vive University, home to the brightest minds or the heaviest pockets France has to offer. The school's political society club has garnered a reputation for violent student demonstrations and outlandish performances at arts installation. Most recently, a massive monument resembling a guillotine has been erected in the middle of the grassy quad by the group. Okay, today this is the day I finally join those who are making history, who goes nothing. My hand reaches towards the clubroom door when I am interrupted by a high-pitched voice yelling in my direction. Hey, you're new here, right? Oh yeah, today's my first day of classes. That's so awesome! I wish I could relive my first day. My name's Maria, by the way. Hey, were you thinking of joining any clubs? I am the president of the High Society Club, and I think you'd be a great fit. Actually, I was just about to see about joining the Political Society Club. You don't want to join those losers, trust me. They're totally lame, and I heard they smell. I guess I can see what your club is about. The Rich People Club? The High Society Club. Great, I'll introduce you to everyone. We approach a large ornate mansion opposite the quaint building that houses the Political Society. Wow, this is something. Isn't it great? Maria moves to push the door open. Maria, what are you doing with our new recruit? Oh god, just keep walking. Wait, but who is that? You're the one who contacted us about becoming a member, right? My name's Max, I'm the president of the Political Society. What are you doing on this side of campus? They smartly decided to come hang out with the cool kids on campus, isn't that right? Don't worry about it, Maria always does this with our new recruits. I just don't understand you guys, you're always talking about how things need to change or whatever. But I personally think things are fine the way they are. We know you do, Maria, so kid, are you coming with us? What should I do? I promise you won't regret it. Well, if you change your mind, you know where to find me. I follow Maria through the large ornate doors. They open to a lavish parlour full of pink cushions, antique tea sets, the works. Wow. I told you wouldn't regret it. So, I'm being completely honest, my motivations in talking to you weren't entirely pure. It's nothing bad. It's not very often we get commoners as cute as you. I flinch at the word commoner. Sorry, old habit. Thanks, I guess. And so humble, too. Would you like to join me for some tea and cake? No time for a young romance like the present. Wait, romance? Okay, no harm in tea and cake, I guess. The small table in front of it. While eating, I find her to be much less shallow than I first thought. Or have I just become enamoured with her dainty fingers, well-groomed hair, and perfectly applied lip gloss? So what's the deal with Max and the rest of the Political Society Club? Oh, can we not talk about them? We were having such a good time. I want to know more, but I'm afraid that I'm completely distracted by the pearly necklace glistening around her neck. No, you're right, I'm having a great time here. Why do I need to bother with them? That's the spirit. Now you're getting how the other half lives. I spend the rest of the day with Maria, and talk in circles about nothing for hours. Something about her is entirely hypnotic. So much so that I completely forgot my original plan to join the what was it called again? Whatever, I think I'll just hang out here. Verification complete. Should go with Max, that was the original plan. Sorry, Marie, this club isn't the main reason I applied. I really can't pass it up. Maria scoffs at us. Well, suit yourself, I guess. Maria daintily glides down the hallway. She really is stunning. But I have to keep my eyes on the prize. Well, now that she's gone. Max pushes open the doors to the club room. Inside is the plain room with a few desks arranged in a circle. We haven't been properly introduced. I'm Max, president of the Political Society Club. The rest of the members should be here any minute. Please have a seat. Max walks to the front of the classroom and takes his seat at a large desk. I slip into a chair close to the back. We sit in silence for a few moments while Max does something at his desk and members begin pouring in. The first member to limp in is a sickly-looking senior student who takes a seat next to Max. His hair is messy and he's far from conventionally attractive, but he still carries with him an air of authority. He doesn't seem to notice I'm in the room. Hobbles over to his seat. Following him, an attractive student with manicured nails and well-groomed hair saunters into a room. One look at him and you know he considers himself to be of hot shit. He gives me a wink before taking a seat next to the sickly upperclassman. The next student to show up throws the door open and slams his bag to the ground. Everything about him screams drama. He makes a show of sitting in his chair and making as much noise as possible, making sure he has everyone's attention. Max looks up from his papers with a look of annoyance. Let's see, we're just missing. Sorry I'm late. The voice is coming from a young-looking freshman. Running through the door, he is handsome and appears to be self-assured. He's trailed by the final member of the club. The final member of the club saunters in with sly confidence. His features are almost snake-like. As soon as he enters the room, he approaches Max to shake his hand before seating himself next to me. Max stands up from his desk. Now that everyone's here, why don't we do introductions? Who would you like to meet first? I guess that makes sense. My being the club president, and all after that. Feel free to ask me anything. Okay? Okay, how about what's the hardest part of being club president? An excellent question. I would say keeping the club unified is most difficult. Our members come from many different disciplines and worldviews, so it can be hard to keep everyone's eyes on the ultimate prize. That does sound pretty hard. How do you go about keeping that unity? I'm not sure I would be able to. It's definitely not easy. Just last month I had to expel one of our founding members for sowing seeds of dissonance among the other members. You have to be careful. You never know who's trying to take this society down from the inside. You don't think that comes off a sort of, I don't know, paranoid? No such thing as paranoid when you're in charge of an organisation like this. You have many enemies, both inside and outside the walls of the club room. I guess you would know more about this sort of... That's where they pay me the big bucks. So if that's the most difficult part of your position, what would you say is your favourite part? Now that's a hard one. You'd probably have to say helping to pave the way forward towards true equality on campus. Wow, that's pretty noble. Oh please, doing the right thing is the bare minimum. There's a twinkle in his eye as he continues to tell you about his plans for the future, how he plans to redistribute funds from the Maria's Club among those that are underfunded. How he knows he has to break some eggs to get there, but he's excited to get to the end result of true liberty. His passion is mesmerizing. I've never seen someone speak with such passion before. Well then, I'd say it's about time you did. A revolution is nothing about passion. What do you say you stay after the meeting and we can discuss our convictions a bit more? I can't help but notice he blushes when he asks if I'd like to stay after the meeting. Seeing such a powerful person blush is, to be blunt, adorable. I don't see why I couldn't stay. After the club meeting, Max and I take the time to discover more of our passions. I show him the real meaning of cocky. Was it not just with you who said you weren't sure if you'd be able to handle my position? Why don't you leave this sort of thing to an upperclassman such as myself and keep your opinions to yourself? Oh, no, I wasn't trying to say you don't know what you're doing. I was only trying to make a suggestion. Let me make this clear. I am not open to suggestions. I'm sorry, And if you are to remain a member of this club, you will learn your place. Order is absolutely crucial if our campaign is to be a success. I'm sorry, I understand. It was scary how quickly Max was able to flip the switch of his personality like that. I walk away, not sure if this is a leader I feel comfortable following. Glad to make your acquaintance. I'm John Paul Marrett, but most people just call me JP or M. The frail-looking student's hand wavers as he reaches out to shake mine. Hi, M. Are you alright? You were just shaking. M pulls his hand away and smiles. Perfectly fine. Nothing to worry about. Nothing at all that impedes my ability to perform my duties to the club. What are your duties to the club? Oh, that's right. I guess you wouldn't know. I'm the vice president. I also manage our weekly newsletter, The Sun's Colorette. That's pretty impressive. Yeah, don't mention it. So what do you say? You want me to show you around the journalism department? Yes, that sounds great. I'd love to see your journalism department. Great, right this way. As we make our way down the hall, we pass the young woman seated against the wall surrounded by books. Em picks at the place, clearly trying to avoid her. Hey you, don't think I've noticed you around here before? Just keep walking. I ignore the young woman and continue to follow Em. Who was that? Don't worry about it, you'd be much better off forgetting you ever saw her. Okay, did she do something? So I guess you don't want to drop this. We can talk about it more once we get to the printing room and have some privacy. I didn't mean to. No. Never back down once you've decided you want to do something. We'll talk about it. Okay. That was a bit dramatic. We make the rest of the trip in awkward silence. Em pushes open the door to the printing room and I follow him in as he flicks on the light. The room is dusty and scattered with printers from varying areas and of various uses. Em pulls 2 chairs out from under the centre table and motions for me to sit in one of them. The problem with that woman is that she lacks conviction. Lacks conviction? She's not firm enough in her beliefs to actually make a difference. She's far too forgiving towards the ruling elite and does nothing but trash talk the political society club at parties. She thinks we're too extreme, for example. The guillotine exhibit on the quad, she's trying to get it taken down. Wow, she definitely sounds not great. Yeah, personally, I believe the most important thing in the world is to hold strong convictions. I think that's definitely something that's important if you want to make real tangible change. Thank you, finally someone who gets it. Since now I know you're someone I can trust, I was shaking earlier because of skin condition. It gets pretty bad sometimes and I have to take special baths, it's stupid. Oh, that's okay. I think it's super impressive that you're able to be active while dealing with something like that. Hey, why don't I show you how to use my favourite printer? It's an antique and kind of tricky to get the hang of. Really? You would do that for me? Sounds like a special machine. Em motions for me to join him by the oldest printer in the room. You can definitely tell it's an antique, it doesn't even seem to run on electricity. He opens up a small box holding various rubber letters and basic words. Go ahead, pick out whatever you want to print. Find the letters to spell out my name. Now you just dip the letters in ink and place them into this tray here. I do as he instructs, and as I'm placing the letters, Em suddenly grabs my hand. This one's a little crooked. I can't help but to notice as he grabs my hand he's shaking again. But it's different this time, more like he's nervous. Less from an illness. So we stand together, I place the letters that spell my name into the printing tray. Can't help but think that this is the beginning of a wonderful friendship, and maybe even something more. Don't you think you're being a little harsh? Shouldn't we all be working together towards a common goal? Sound just like her, and to the rest of them. I'm sorry? Don't be sorry, be better. Anyway, this is the printing room. You saw it? Let's go back to the others. I might have to have a serious conversation with Max about your involvement in the club. Was I what I said was that bad? Man, day one, I already messed everything up. Turn around in the dresser. I turn around to get a look at her. We've made eye contact. It's too late to ignore her. Yeah, you're new, right? Yes, and you are? My name's Charlotte, but my friends call me Charlie. Charlotte, please leave our new member alone. New member? Don't tell me you've joined the sausage party. By sausage party, I assume you mean the political society. Ugh, I trust you do not want to hang out with that crowd. They have zero tact. We all know how you feel about us, Charlotte. Now please leave our new member alone. You know, JP, we're basically after the same thing. Just because our methods are different doesn't mean you always have to be at each other's throats. We are not the same at all. Come on, let's get out of here. Hey, bye, Charlie. I ignore the young woman and continue to follow Em. Kind of want to know more about Charlie and her ideas. And here I thought she would be a good addition to our club. Forget it. Come on, I'll take you back to our club room and tell you more about what we're about. I follow Charlie down a series of winding halls until we come to a set of double doors marked Club Room 6. This is where the political association meets, not to be confused with the political society that you're already familiar with. Charlie pushes open the doors and I follow her in. The room is smaller than the political society and is empty save for us. Make yourself at home, feel free to ask any questions about our group, I'm all ears. Back then, you mentioned the guys having similar goals. But your methods are different, what did you mean? Ah yeah, basically, Both clubs believe in the power of the people. We just don't agree with the more radical methods used by the society. We think things aren't necessarily as black and white as those guys seem to think they are, and the issues can probably be resolved more diplomatically. Huh. I think I like the sound of that a bit more. See, I knew you would. Can you tell me about some of these methods? Okay, but this is top secret. We usually try to keep things civil, but we're planning on totally pranking JP at his next speaking engagement. We're talking water balloons falling from the rafters. That doesn't really sound like solving things diplomatically. I can't deny that, but different thing when it's JP we're talking about. The guy is an absolute savage and honestly deserves a taste of his own medicine. I understand that, but you have to understand that the level of playing field and actually get things done when we have to send a message to those guys. Not really sure I could actually support something like that, to be completely honest. Okay, well, you can just leave, I guess. No, wait, I mean, I'm still open to talking about it if you... I really think you should leave now. Can't help but feel like I've made my way onto some hit list as I awkwardly shuffle out of the club room. Only day one and I've already made such a mess of things. Guess an eye for an eye and all that? I knew you would get it. In order to unify, we have to send a strong message to the more radical among us, you know? Makes sense to me. If you're interested in learning more about everything we stand for, I can recommend some reading. Before I get a chance to answer, she's rummaging around in the room's storage closet. After a moment, she comes out holding a stack of books on philosophy. Here, these should be a good start. Just ask if you ever want more. I take the heavy stack of books from her, and it will definitely be a long time before I'm done with these and asking for more. Charlie plucks a copy of Russ's The Social Contract off the top of the pile. This is one of my absolute favourites. We could read it together if you want. The sooner you start, the better, right? You mean, like, right now? And, like, together? Like, sitting next to each other together? I'm totally just kidding, unless... Oh no, I'd be totally down for that. What could it hurt? She seems like an intelligent, strong-willed girl. And not bad to look at, either. Really? I mean, well, if you don't mind, you can take a seat right here next to me. I take a seat next to Charlie, and it's a tight fit, but I don't mind. Neither does she, apparently. Okay then, let's begin. She opens the book and we begin reading, brushing hands as we go to turn the page at the same time. Neither of us seem to really mind. I think I'll hang out with Charlie for a while. An excellent choice. My name's Bert, and it's an absolute pleasure to make your acquaintance. It's nice to meet you too, Bert. What is it? Bertrand, to be more precise. You, however, can call me Bert. How do you feel about doing me the honour of taking a stroll around the courtyard? You mean the quad? Or if you want to be pedantic about it, sure, the quad. So what do you say? I guess some fresh air could be nice. Excellent, let us go post-haste. He sure seems to have a way with words. We make our way out onto the quad and take in the crisp, cool air as we walk around the paved path. Now then, that's much better than a dusty old classroom, wouldn't you say? Allow me to further explain my role in the organisation. It usually falls into my well-moisturised yet capable hands to settle disputes among club members, and give the occasional orientation on behalf of our esteemed organisation. Do the club members fight often? Bert gives a dramatic sigh. Oh yes, almost certainly. Max and a couple of the others don't trust the rest of the club, and the rest don't think Max's clique is strong enough, leaving poor, intelligent, handsome Bert stuck in the middle. Sounds stressful. You have no idea what stress does to my complexion. And the other day I found a grey hair. A grey hair! But I truly believe that if we're to be successful, we must stand united. How is the student body supposed to trust us if we're constantly squabbling over menial ideology details? The other members don't understand the important role I play. Most assume I refuse to take a hard stand because I lack conviction. That doesn't seem very fair. I think you're right about the unified front being important. Yes, exactly. Finally, someone who understands how truly pivotal I am to our success. Bert definitely gives me the feeling of someone who will go out ahead regardless of the circumstances. I definitely want to be on his good side. I do what I do because I love this school more than anything, and I want to see it standing proudly hand in hand with liberty for eternity. I'm so glad you seem to understand my attentions are pure. His soft hands with well-manicured nails grasp my shoulder. How about I show you my favourite spot on campus? It's perfectly secluded, if you catch my meaning. Is Bert hitting on me? Should a man who obviously takes such pride in his appearance truly be hitting on me? Well, I may as well. I would be completely honoured to accompany you. Excellent, let us depart. I follow Bert to a secluded garden near the northern edge of campus. He was right, it is perfectly secluded. We sit closely next to each other on a small bench. Bert brushes the hair from my face. This is all devastatingly romantic. As Bert leaned in, I expect a kiss, but instead he holds a strand of hair he just brushed away from my face between his fingers. Now that we're totally alone, I can trust you in my secret hair care routine. I only espouse this knowledge to those I feel I can completely trust, and you've passed the test. A unified front sounds important, but don't you think strong convictions are just as important? That's how it always begins. Soon enough, they'll have you convinced that I'm the enemy. I don't think you're the enemy, I just think you might be a bit of an idealist. An idealist? No, that's a new one. Please do me a favour and go back and join the others. It's not like... Now, please. Looking at your split ends is stressing me out. The club sure seems to have some egos. Ah, oh dear, I'm sorry, darling. I'm afraid you gave me quite a fright. Your presence is so unassuming, I didn't even see you there. Thanks. No matter, I'm sure introductions aren't needed. You are surely already familiar with who I am. Truly? I'm sorry, I'm pretty new here. So be it. Let us remedy the situations. My name is Jean-Marie Collett de Herbois, or simply de Herbois to those with whom I work on a professional level. So you find yourself lucky enough to be speaking with this institution's star actor. I see. Well, the pleasure is all mine. Yes, it is. So what do you say? Fancy a trip to my office? You have an office? Oh dear, the stage is my office. Oh well, obviously. Dubois leads me to the school theatre in a way that I can only describe as a saunter. He clearly thinks very highly of his own artistic ability. We make our way through the auditorium and take 2 seats in the front row. Just as we're getting seated, an intelligent-looking young woman holding a notebook pokes her head out of the wings. Oh lord, what are you doing here? I could ask you the same thing. What could a second-rate playwright possibly be doing in a place of fine performing art? Ha, that's cute coming from you. The woman brings her attention to me, seemingly noticing me for the first time. Oh, how rude of me. My name is Olympia de Gorge, or Ollie. English major, and much better playwright than your companion here. Bar scoffs. The nerve! Friend, please tell our dear Olympia that everyone knows a woman is not fit to partake of the written arts. I think I'd actually have to read or see some of her works to make that judgment call. I see, so I'd have to prove myself to you before you call out explicit sexism. I'm done here, and with both of you. Poor Ollie. Ollie storms off backstage, notebook in hand. That's not really what I meant. Don't worry about it too much. Our dear Olympia is a bit of a drama queen. The irony of Jabbar's calling someone else a drama queen is not lost on me. Now, what I was saying before we were rudely interrupted. Yes, of course. The theatre and how important it is to our cause. I guess so. Allow me to explain, you see. The great bard said all the world's a stage, and we are being watched, and we must put on a stunning performance that sends a strong message to our enemies if we ever wish to achieve success. That is to say, we must make a dramatic example of those who stand against us. I think I follow. Can you give an example? Of course, we're talking public humiliation, tarnished reputations, even physical violence if we must. That sounds pretty dramatic, but I guess if the shock value is what we're going for. That is exactly what we're going for. That's how you send a message. And you found this effective in the past? Every time some of my colleagues find my methods gaudy and too far, but they simply do not see the vision. Well, if it's worked, I see no reason not to believe in it. Like these his hand on my thigh. See, I know you to get it. I could tell you have the eyes of a true revolutionary artist. He's looking directly into my eyes as he says this. His eyes are twinkling with excitement. I place my hands over his. Let's make some art together. Well, I'm not sure about the physical violence part. Some of my contemporaries have their revelations about that as well. But I assure you it is a necessary step. Don't you think it could result in the student body resenting us? If fear is what it takes to earn their respect, then so be it. I'm starting to think that halves is a little unhinged. I actually just remembered. I have somewhere to be right now. I'm sorry I have to go. Why are you lying? I'm not. I really have somewhere to, go get my clothes out the dryer. Fine, if you're not truly invested, you're not truly invested. I wasn't interested in talking to you anyway. I hurry away, hostile vibes falling behind me. Wow, man, that's pretty sexist. Well, if you truly think I'm a misogynistic monster simply for thinking that theatre is no place for a lady, then I guess I'll die. I mean, you don't have to die. Ugh, ignore him, he's always so dramatic. I am an actor and an artiste. It is literally my job to be a dramatic. Do you want to get out of here? I look at Bakula, who's obviously having some sort of meltdown. Yeah, I think that would probably be for the best. He looks like he needs some space. You have no idea how much space he needs. Ollie and I make our way to the dressing rooms backstage. This is usually where I go when I need some quiet to write. We shouldn't be bothered here. So what brings you to the drama department? Interested in getting involved? No actually, I came here with a great artist out there. We met at the Political Society Club. Oh no, don't tell me you're one of them. Well, I'm definitely thinking about joining, but if they're all like that, I'm not so sure. I won't lie and say they're like our good friends here. Some of the members actually have some pretty good ideas. My main issue with the group as a whole is that I'm sure you've noticed it's a bit of a sausage party. Yeah, to be honest, it seems like they haven't really been willing to do the bare minimum to be more inclusive. Exactly, like it really shouldn't be that hard to invite some diversity into your little special little club. I feel like there might be a little bit of history between you and the society. Yes, you could say that. I guess the long and short of it is I wanted to join and they wouldn't let me. I ended up filing a discrimination complaint to the school. Wow, I didn't know they were that small-minded. Seems to go against everything else they claim to stand for. Exactly. Ollie's smile falls, a red tint comes to her cheeks. I actually started my own club sort of in competition, if you'd be interested. We focus more on equality and stuff. Honestly, I thought that's what I was signing up for in the first place. That sounds great. Ollie blushes as she picks up my hand and clasps it between hers. I think this is the beginning of a wonderful partnership there. In the professional sense, I mean. Her hands are warm and firm. To myself, I hope that the partnership is all but professional. Is that their fault, though? It just seems to be the way things are here. That's the way it's always been. It makes for a very poor excuse. Care to try again? I guess I just think you can't blame them for falling into the toxic patterns of the culture they live in. The whole point is the club is changing toxic structures within our culture. Why are they ignoring this issue specifically if they aren't personally misogynists? I'll give you one more try. I didn't know this was a quiz, but I guess they can't be expected to deal with every societal issue, they'll be spread too thin. Ollie's face goes flat and cold. The very least they could do is to invite more women to their organisation, the absolute minimum. If you don't agree, you can go and join your best friend in the auditorium and scream about your art or whatever. You failed, the conversation is over. Not to be rude, but are you even old enough to go to this school? Ha! Key and I actually skipped a grade or two, so technically I'm a year or two younger than almost everyone here. My name's Lewis and Tim just. If it's too much of a mouthful for you, you can just call me SJ. Wink. Can't help but notice the double entendre if I'm too much of a mouthful. His wink makes me think it was intentional. I see you've already met Max, isn't he just the best? Yeah, he really seems to keep things together here. SJ leans in close and whispers in my ear. The hair on the back of my neck stands up on end as the invasion of my personal space. I've actually been working on a surprise for him if you want to come check it out. Yeah, sure. Excellent, follow me. I follow SJ back to the large ornate building that I visited with Marie earlier. But this time we make our way to the back. Wait, okay, close your eyes. I do as instructed and close my eye. SJ grabs my hands and leads me around a corner. Okay, now open. I open my eyes to see a huge graffiti mural across the back of the building that depicts a guillotine. Across the top of the mural in large letters it says, Enemy of the State. Wow, I bet Max will love that. I know, right? I knew since you've already met Max that you'd get it. SJ's eyes are sparkling with excitement. He's adorable. Hey, I actually had a couple of other projects similar to this. If you catch my drift. I have them planned all around campus if you'd be interested in getting involved with them. Yeah, sure, why not? Jay's smiles widen, he grabs my hand, and we go tearing through campus, committing various acts of vandalism on club rooms belonging to wealthy students. If I'm being honest, I never felt quite so alive, and as I do, I am running around with SJ in hand. When we finally slow down and catch our breath, SJ stares into my eyes for a moment. Can't help myself. I pull him into an embrace and he returns the act with a kiss. Well, that's a lot. How so? Well, I just don't really think vandalism is the way to get your point across, don't you think? Are you sure Max would agree with this? What do you know about what Max would agree with? You just met him. Sorry, you're right, I was making assumptions. Yeah, you were. The magnetic force that seemed to surround us earlier has turned hostile. You just want to go back? Finally, good idea from you. Yeah, let's go back. We walk back in silence. SJ is careful to maintain a physical distance between us. You're taller than I thought. So, you've been reading the school tabloids, huh? I blush. Guilty as charged. No matter, I'm sure you know my name is Napoleon Bonaparte. Please refer to me by my full name if you don't mind. Okay, Napoleon Bonaparte. Thank you. Now, if you were going to be a full member of this club, you should be aware of some forthcoming changes. However, we must talk about these matters in a more private setting. I'm the PR rep for the club and have a few errands to run. How would you like to join me and we can debrief? Oh yeah, that sounds important. That's because it is. Please follow me. Without giving me a chance to respond, Napoleon is out of the door and briskly walking down the hall. It's important that I tell you this, but it's also important that it stays between the two of us. Okay. I've been spending the semester kissing up to our leadership in hopes of climbing the ranks. This is no secret. The secret is... His eyes narrow and he looks me up and down before continuing. I'm planning on taking over after Maximilian is disposed of. Disposed of? I've been planning using my role as PR rep to plant some seeds. Can you tell me more about this plan? I make great friends with the other club members. I make them trust me. A feeling of dissent is already spreading within the group. I use that feeling to my advantage and strike when leadership is weakest. That's actually brilliant. Well, not to most, as I know. A smirk spreads over his face. He looks proud with himself. His confidence is attractive. I'm in. Fantastic, but you must remember to keep this plan an absolute secret. Napoleon clasps his hand on my shoulder and looks into my eyes, seeming to take stock of my moral character. I blush. Oh, of course. I'll keep Napoleon's plan a secret. I can't say the same for my attraction towards him. What are the credentials that make you fit to lead? Glad you ask. I'll have you know I'm quite good with tactical planning. Tactical planning, sure, but what about leading? Wouldn't you agree that the abilities in one department lend themselves to the other? Well, not necessarily. He pulls a small notebook out of his pocket and scribbles something down. What's that for? Oh, nothing, don't worry about it. He smiles a sinister smile. For some reason, I get the feeling that I've been added to some sort of list. And just like that, we have dated several of the key figures from the French Revolution. A sentence I never thought I'd say. If you enjoyed this video, then subscribe, as I have more visual novel content planned for the near future. Or, come join me on Twitch, where this was first streamed. I'm live twice a week with similar games. Thanks to Ellen Noel Chiliak and Emily Horn for creating this experience. And so, as the night draws in, I bid you all a good night.